Hi guys, it's Ravensleep45 and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. On the last episode, we just finished the top result with Game of Lush and friends. Saved the elephant people, and what was her? Nidia? I can't remember, one of the head alchemists that we were supposed to contact with thanks to Krill. And of course, after rescuing all the elephants, we made it back to Razahan and secured a good supply of the protective charm which was developed by the alchemist to protect the Alliance from being tempted by the tower itself, so that's good. And after doing all that, we're back here in the school learning about the 3 types of corporeal aider from one of the people that actually stood up to us at the council. Good on him. And now, here we are back here in said school, which will be going back to the main quest with Krill here. Capital idea, and we're gonna get a 525 chest, which still not as good as my 535 or the 530 item level from Shadowbringers. Well, what gives me such that gives me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives, the mysteries of life itself, for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude only to leave more in debt than before. I'm feeling this friendship and support will be a great boon to us days to come. On that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with the I hate this name, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings to Waha. Okay. So where are we going? Oh, back to the annex. Okay. So how are you guys' day so far? Besides me explaining a few details regarding my situation at home, where my dad kind of got the COVID. Ooh, that was like something I didn't want to experience in my whole life. Like knowing that the fact that my dad could have died thanks to the COVID. Good lord. Well, at least he's fine now, but surprising to say is like he was fine when he was being quarantined in the apartment. So good on that. Thank God he managed to get the booster and the vaccine and the booster afterward before getting infected. So I can't imagine if he didn't get boost and the vaccine and the booster at the same time. Well, not the same time, but eventually getting both of them. It's like imagining without any of that, he could have easily get killed by the COVID, so God, that was like one worry on my mind after that. Okay, let's head back to the fellas and discuss our next plan of action. Well, we're back, Graha. Hope you can mail over to the information we just received. Welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. Well, you can say that again. While you're away, I received word from our fellow Scions. Unexpected news of the watering skill has met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked we bring the skills in our possession to Limsa the Minsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but it does seem to be the way of the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us and Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the skills out of the storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Say, what? Do I have to be the lever force now? Jeez. Didn't realize these crates were so heavy. Granted, you don't really, lift muscles or work out that much, Krill, so I can stand the reason you're not used to the hard labor. Or does she? I shouldn't complain though. Vitcher and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul in each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Ah, don't worry, Krill, I got this. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the form's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already in thin ice, and if in my capacity as our official representative be found to be consorting with foreign power, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I wait word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we soon have good news for our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. I don't know why I made a deep voice for Alpha Note there, but okay. Okay, so back to Limsa Lominsa. Not my capital city. I started playing 14. If I remember correctly, it was Gridania because I think I started as a marauder when the official 14 started, back when it first launched. Oh, that was quick. I was really thinking that it would take much longer to teleport to Limsa Lominsa because thanks to the congestion, it will take like maybe a minute or so, or even like 30 seconds to transition to here. But since they added the new Oceanic Data Center, and plus Monster Hunter Rise is in the PC at this point, so a lot of people are moving there to enjoy those games because I'm certain a lot of people finish the main story for Endwalker at this point, except for me. And I spy the Omega Armor, if I can get a clear view. There we go. I'm still a little bit disappointed it's not dyeable, and it's like, as per Alpha you also buy the Mog Station, it's a 4 set piece that you equip on your character, so basically it will occupy your arms, legs, chest, I think the leggings as well. So it's like, if only this thing was dyeable, I would consider getting it from the Mog Station. But at this point, it's like $12, it's not dyeable, and it occupies 4 slots on your character for equipment. So it's like, I'm good in that department. Oops, wrong way, I'm going the wrong direction. Where is this thing? Oh, it's near the elevator. Derp. Alright, let's talk to the Storm Sergeant. As I would expect you, as may or may not have been aware, the animal is at present entertaining the Elder Cedar and the Sultana. Oh, so we can see both of them in there. 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? Don't need to actually prepare, so let's go. Alright gang, we're back. My apologies for calling away from Charlotte on such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only the right of that decision could be conducted in person. We look into the war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it's only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decision action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It's reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? Well, about that. It hides entirely on the warding skills and the ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Shalarian, the allied nation has been engaging on separate fronts, with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge of abductions of Cobalt, Shigan, Ixo, and the Anat has been giving rise to increasing numbers of Primal as well. Well, that's a little poopy. But your triumph at Razahan has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it's you, the Scions of the Seven Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the Bokan forces will continue to hold the Tepeloni at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike the enemy's heart, Garland. These brave few will be the IIsabard contingent. To think such progress has been made in such short span. Its objectives are twofold. First is to provide aid to the people of Garland. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and the civilian has been tempered, robbed of their free will. They serve the Tepeloi every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not to statistically or potentially gain, but because it is the right thing to do. Well, it is the right thing to do, but if it was other people, they'll probably will take this initiative and, acquire said assets from them after we save them from the threat. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I only ask that in choosing to remember, we do not forsaken our compassion and morality. For without that, there can be no recollection, only death without end. Hear, hear. On that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Tancred and Uiger observe in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a processor of what yet to come. Precursor? I'm pretty sure that's one or the other. Until the tower's up was toppled, we failed to make any headway, so the same could be said with the Teperoli. They are certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be subsustained by Eorzeia's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal current. Based on our observation inside the Tower of Zot, the spires sip in ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth from more than is required for its task alone. The excess of ether retained unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefits. It would surprise me the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we will bring their schemes crashing down, along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good, but what will you have us do? I'm assuming it's more than hanging over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your skills to join the IIsabard contingent. Oh, you want us to join and fight? Yes, please! Consider the official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Hell yeah! Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. For honor and glory! For the people of Garland. No. For revenge against the Teperoli. Honestly, I really want to say the first option, for honor and glory. For the people of Garland, not really. For revenge against the Tepilori, I don't really like any of them, so I'll just go with the first one. For honor and glory! Couldn't have put it better myself. Actually, it'd probably make more sense if it said the third option, but oh well, it's kinda too late on that. Yustora, Tancred, and Eorzea have already pledged their support, and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They are positive you'll come to the same decision as they did. Luckily, for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warring scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Isabard. Radaban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourself known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, fur and the like. Without it, the cold will do you before the Tepilori, so much as drawing steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They are not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better upon your return. Hear, hear. So first up, Alamigo, and next, Garland. Alright, first up, let's go to Alamigo to deliver our goods of warring scales. Bum ba-da-dum ba-da-dum dun da-da-dun dun bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum 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 bum. Okay. Let's deliver this and we can be our way to our next destination. Hello, Raban, Sir Emmerich. Ah! The Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down the tower and procuring the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warring skills of yours are what made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Emmerich be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we've seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We do not negate our duties far too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the IIsabard contingent. The very suggestion that we send some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid to the Guardians has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. That's kind of standard reason. A lot of people won't be happy saying our finest warriors to help the enemy. Can you please tell them all? Sadly, I not. Though I did my best, truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, a battle of my own fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Emmerich's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Isabard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, the both of you. We meet again! Who's this? Oh, Gaius! Good to see you again. Word of your exploits travel quick, from what I gather. The protective talismans you obtain lead to the formation of these expeditionary forces. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Mixia. For the sake of the people of Garland, may the fate be on our side. Sure you're not coming with us? Strange. I thought you have a stake in this, given the fact that we're going back to your land, motherland. I do. The Tepilori have laid waste to my homeland, and enslaved my people. But though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire nation in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varys and plunging Garland into chaos. Were I to travel with all the IIsabard contingent, it will give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Convincedly, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former Dagertus and attempt to rise me into a position of leadership, furthering destabilizing the region and completing the contingent mission. Whether I am bred a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. We'll deliver your people from harm in your stead. I doubt you'll be pleased to see that champion Eorzea set foot in Guardian's soul, given the fact that they've been killing a lot of their countrymen for over a couple expansions, so I wouldn't blame them if they start throwing stones at me once I land into their lands. So I wouldn't. I doubt they'll be pleased to see a champion Eorzea set foot in Guardian's soul. A fair point, but as long as you refrain from announcing your arrival to all and sundry, the average person should have no inkling as to your identity. Unless, you know, spread propaganda to the entire nation. Hey, this is the warrior of light, be wary of this person. Although your title and deeds are common knowledge, only a select few would recognize you in the sight alone. Perhaps one day they will learn that the warrior of light is not a demon to be feared, but a woman deserving of their trust. In light of Gaia's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may be defected for particular reasons, my love for Garland endures. I will stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. May I ask that you escort our friends inside? It'll be my honor. You might even bump into old acquaintances or two. And if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you and all of you. Yay. I wouldn't be surprised if I would level up from this. Thank you guys for watching my recording session for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker's main MSQ. And if you have any comments, put them down below the video as well. And if you like this video, please click the like button. It's very much appreciated. If you are curious on whatever I upload on my YouTube channel, you can give it a look. And if you're curious on getting in touch on what I upload, you can subscribe and don't forget to click the bell icon. And of course, I have projects that are going on my channel, which is right now Final Fantasy XIV Raid, Trial, MSQ, Broadcast, Jobcast, Minions, Mounts, anything related to Final Fantasy XIV. Secondly, which will be Freight Grand Order, Lost Spell 4, 5, the events, the challenge quests, and anything that are related to Freight Grand Order. And lastly, which will be Persona 5, the Royal, whenever the existence of actually starting to record that again will be in the near future. This has been Ravensleep45. Take care, stay safe, and have a pleasant Final Fantasy XIV day.